Hi everyone, it's Phil here from Ashland Leather, and let's nerd out on some different leathers in the Johnny the Fox today. Before we get to that, let's take a preview of some of the items that are in the video. Like I said, I have a huge batch of different Johnny the Foxes in all sorts of different colors. We have 3 different jumbo Johnny the Foxes, 2 Tony the Ants, 1 Fat Herbie in a really neat black marbled shell Cordovan, 3 Bugs Moran, 1 Long Wallet in a beautiful piece of black shell Cordovan, a few different key cases and key fobs, and last but not least, there's a natural shell Cordovan Frank the Enforcer. All right, take a look at all these really great Johnny the Foxes here. There's a ton of different colors, and I wanted to show you each and every one of these because I've been nerding out a lot on the leathers today. I was out for a little bit of last week, and I've been missing looking and experiencing some of these different leathers for myself. But let's start off here with the Whiskey Shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. That golden brown color on the outside, and the interior here, we've got something a little bit special. On the left interior guard pocket, there's a Color 8 reverse shell Cordovan. It's a little bit more of an orangish tan, little bits of red dye marks. In the center here, this is something that we don't often see. This is intense blue shell Cordovan in the center with black shell Cordovan on the right. Here's another really cool one. This is one of our small batch private stock Johnny the Foxes. This is black gator shell Cordovan. Take a look at that really cool texture on the black shell, and there's something about the way the light reflects off the black shell Cordovan that looks extra special, and especially with this gator texture, I think that is really, really neat. Take a look at the interior here, and this one sort of blew me away a couple minutes ago. All the random dye marks on this are extra special. I love the black reverse shell Cordovan because it has these green dye marks that I think are really unique. So each reverse interior is very unique and special. Here's another really cool one. This is a marbled cigar shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox. And the marbled cigar is kind of like the Color 8 marbled, but there's a little bit less burgundy to it. I sense a little bit more tan, orange, more of like a neutral brown tone to the marbled cigar when compared to the marbled Color 8. And take a look at the interior here. We got something that we don't often do. We have a Horween hot stamp on the left. This is the shell Cordovan logo. We don't often put these on the inside of the Johnny the Fox, and this one is also cool because it's sort of the reverse of that last wallet. We have Color 8 shell Cordovan on the left, the classic Cordovan color, and black reverse on the right. We don't often see these two paired together. And up next, this is one of our best-selling wallets. This is, again, the Johnny the Fox in 100% Color 8 shell Cordovan. So we have Color 8 shell on the outside, a really nice piece of shell on this wallet with Color 8 shell on the inside here, and the interiors are the challenging part. It's really difficult for us to get thin pieces of shell Cordovan for the inside of the Johnny the Fox. We're only able to make a handful of these 100% Color 8 shell Foxes each year. And take a look at this next one here. This is one of my favorite leathers. This is the raw shell Cordovan. And you can see the luster is much different on the raw shell, and it's a little bit lighter in color. And the reason I like the raw shell, and the reason that it was a dream of mine for such a long time, was I really wanted a leather that would develop the most dramatic patina possible. So in terms of luster and color, this develops very dramatically. So you can see it starts off pretty light in color. It's like a light taupe shade, but when this is worn, it becomes a lot darker and it slowly becomes a little bit more golden brown. And then the luster, you can see again, it's sort of like a matte finish. Not very much shine to it all, although there is a subtle sheen. But when this is worn, it naturally develops a very mirror-like finish on the surface. It becomes very bright, shiny, and smooth. On the inside of this one, Color 8 reverse shell Cordovan. And I wanted to show you this Johnny the Fox next. This is a special leather. It's another Horween leather called Latigo on the outside here. And it might just look like black Latigo, but this is a special version of Horween's Latigo called Visage Latigo. And the Visage Latigo is drum-dyed red. So you can see the cross-section and the flesh side of this Latigo is a red color. A really vibrant red. And what they've done to turn this into something called Visage is they've put an opaque black finish over the top of the red. So you get this interesting two-tone effect, especially in the sandwich like cross-section of this leather. I think this Johnny the Fox is really cool. Black horsehide interior, that's a leather that's custom made just for us by Horween. Here's another really nice Johnny the Fox. This one is all stealthed out. This is black Dublin on the outside, and it has that really beautiful natural character to it that I like to do little close-ups of. just because I think the grain character of the Dublin is exceptional. And the inside of this is also black. All of the edges are black on this wallet. The cross section, the interior, inside of the bill slot is black as well. I love the stealthed out look of this guy. And this one is a little bit different. Instead of being all black, this one is all blue. And this is a cobalt blue Dublin, again from Horween. And take a look again. I'll do a little close up of the grain of this because that's a really great looking piece of cobalt blue Dublin. Sort of like ripples on the ocean for this nice piece. On the interior here, this is where it gets more and more special. This is also cobalt blue Dublin on the inside of this Johnny the Fox. We had this leather custom made just for us in the cobalt blue Dublin to match the cobalt blue on the outside. We do have 2 of these available, but you'll have to message us for these. They're not available on the website. And here's another interesting Johnny the Fox that's been personalized for JHL the Third. And thank you so much, JHL. Take a look at this black shell Cordovan on the exterior of this. The way the light reflects off the black shell is almost futuristic to me. I think it's a super sleek look. But on the inside, this customer really wanted a blue interior. And I think the cobalt blue Dublin on the inside of this one pairs very well with the black on the outside. I think those 2 colors together are really neat. And speaking of 2 colors together, this is a old favorite of mine. We've been doing this one for years. Again, that beautiful black Dublin on the exterior, great grain character, really bright, shiny luster, super interesting. But pairing that black on the outside with a teal on the interior, I think these 2 colors together are really neat. So we have black Dublin with a teal interior. This is one of my favorite combos that we've ever done. And I have a pair of Johnny the Foxes here. These are both very special 100% English tan Dublin. The only difference here is the one on the left has been personalized for JTD. Thank you so much, JTD. I can't wait for you to experience this one. I actually wore one of these Johnny the Foxes for a little over 100 days, and I really enjoyed the way the patina developed on this one. And the last Johnny the Fox to show you, this is the most popular Chrome Excel color, the natural Chrome Excel. And I'll do a little close-up of this so you can compare and contrast it to the Dublin. You can see this one has very nice character to it, but is much more smooth, much less intense grain character when compared to the Dublin. And that's because the Chrome Excel is very nicely polished by Horween, and it's also full of waxes, oils, and greases. You might even be able to see just how oily it is. And check this out. We don't often see this, but I have 3 jumbo foxes. This is just like the Johnny the Fox, except we have an additional bill slot in the back of it, as well as 2 additional card slots on the left and right. So it's just a little bit bigger form factor than our standard Johnny the Fox. Take a look at this one first. Intense blue shell Cordovan, and that is a remarkable piece of intense blue shell on the outside. I also like the mock horsehide interior of this one. I like how the blue and that mock go together. It's almost like the mock color on the inside makes the blue stand out and sort of pop a little bit more. Take a look at this one too. This is a daddy of a wallet. We've got black shell Cordovan all over, inside and out, and there's so much shell Cordovan in this. This one is very dense to feel. It's like a very stout wallet, and that's because the shell Cordovan is veg tan. It's very dense and heavy feeling, and I don't often see this much shell Cordovan in one spot. Let me give you a look at the last Jumbo the Fox here. This is also black shell Cordovan, but this is reverse. So we have reverse shell Cordovan on the outside, reverse shell Cordovan on the inside, a little Horween ink stamp in the center. And what a great Jumbo Fox this is. We have these 3 here. I normally only see one at a time because this is not a wallet that we normally offer on the website. So if you're into the Jumbo Fox, we can make it for you, but please just send us an email and I can set you up. Let's take a look at some more items that are sending out today. This is a Frank the Enforcer and natural shell Cordovan. This is similar to that raw shell Cordovan Johnny the Fox we looked at earlier, but the natural shell Cordovan has been polished, so it's much brighter and shinier. And actually, as a consequence of polishing it, it becomes a little bit darker. I also have this beautiful Fat Herbie going out. Take a look at this black marbled shell Cordovan piece. And the color ranges from these orangish tan undertones to a little bit of green, and sometimes it ranges a little bit more dark to the black. Originally, this leather was black, and they scraped away the layers of finish, and these are the colors that are underneath that finish. That's why they call it the marbled shell Cordovan. Take a look at the left and right on the inside here. This is a great range of color on the black marble shell Cordovan. And here's another wallet that I don't often see. This is our long wallet, again in black shell Cordovan. Really huge context of this piece of black shell, and there's something special about seeing an extra large context. Take a look at the inside. I think this is really neat. We have black shell on the right with black reverse on the left. I've been enjoying when customers choose this combination on the interior of wallets, and I like it for a couple reasons. Number one, I think that looks really cool, this sort of greenish tan forest green sections versus the black on the right. I think those look great together, but also as an unintended consequence and side effect of that, the way that the shell rubs against the reverse shell is much more pleasant to my eye than shell on shell. I actually just think the reverse shell wears in a little bit better for the interior of the wallet, so this is a great choice. And let's take a look at two of the Tony the Ants that we're sending out today. This is a Color 8 Chrome Excel Tony the Ant. That's the same color as the classic Color 8 shell Cordovan, just translated to this rich, oily, waxy, and greasy Chrome Excel. It's a really great leather, so I'm glad to see it going out on this Tony the Ant. And here's another one, and one of my favorite leathers, that English Tan Dublin with the incredible grain character. This one's a little bit smoother than most. It's a really nice piece, orangey tan. This one's been personalized for KSG. Thank you so much, KSG. And I have three different Bugs Morans to show you. And the Bugs Moran are pretty similar to the Tony the Ant, but they do not have a bill slot on the back. And this first one is in another great piece of black marbled shell. Take a look at how the color ranges on this guy, from that lighter sort of orangey tan to more of a forest green, and all the colors in between. I think that looks really great. If you look at the inside as well, more of that great random color of the black marble shell Cordovan. Here's another natural Chrome Excel Bugs Moran. That's the most popular color of the Chrome Excel. I want to try to show you how nicely polished this guy is. The Chrome Excel is super smooth, and it has this really interesting pull-up effect. That's because it's been tanned with so much waxes, oils, and greases. And the last one to show you happens to be the last of the small batch intense blue shell Cordovan with reverse interior Bugs Moran. And I'm sad to see it go, but this is a really great look for the interior. I love the reverse blue, and we don't often see it. And the intense blue on the outside here, that's also really great. It has a depth of color. It's a little bit aqua on the undertones, with a little bit more of a navy blue on the surface. We do have a couple of these left in the shell exterior and shell interiors. So if you're into one of these, we do have the intense blue shell Bugs. Small batch still available. All right, and let's finish up here with some of the smaller goods. And these are great because I have more marbled shell Cordovan. This is marbled Color 8 shell Cordovan on the vault key holder. But I also have two different marbled Color 8 Lexington key cases. And the reason that's interesting for me to show all these together is because the marbled shells are all random in color. Sometimes they're a little bit more orangey and a little bit more burgundy in color, like this one. And other times they're a little bit lighter. This one's like a little bit more of like a rose color on this Color 8 marbled shell. And here's another one. You get a little bit of a sense of how random all the marbled shell Cordovan is. I actually happen to think this one looks like a nice piece of wood. And there's one more marbled Color 8 key fob here. This one on the front has slight bits of that orange coming through on the right, but it appears a little bit more burgundy in color, especially on the back side. And then I have one black marbled shell Cordovan. We saw this in a larger context earlier on some of those wallets. I think the marbled shells sort of shine better on larger contexts of wallets and different pieces, where you get to see a larger piece of shell. You get to see a little bit more of the highs and lows in color of the marbled shell, but it's great in a key fob as well. And the last one, this is my favorite shell Cordovan color. Only one wallet going out today, or one item going out today in my favorite shell color, the Amaretto shell Cordovan. The reason I like this one so much is I just think it's a really beautiful orangey tan color, and it actually reminds me a lot of the color of the English tan. And that's why I always tend to gravitate more towards this English Tan Dublin. So thanks for checking out all the wallets today. I've got some more great stuff coming this week. I think we have another small batch coming out tomorrow. But I think my starter of the day is this black marbled shell Fat Herbie. So much character in this one. It's a really dramatic contrast that I tend to like. So thanks for checking it out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And until next time, I hope you have a good one.